I'm Tom from Do-It-Yourself Home Automation, and this is a look at using object detection on the Simcam AI home surveillance camera. So I've shown in other videos, this is a really neat product that I'm starting to look at. And what's exciting about it is that it's a home surveillance camera, kind of in the same vein as Nest or Wise. But unlike those cameras that stream video to the cloud for processing, this is actually one of the first devices I've seen that uses a Intel computer vision chip in the device itself. And it's able to actually do a lot of fairly advanced AI functions on the device without sending video out to the cloud, and do some really kind of neat processing on there. And I think this is something we're going to see a lot more in the future, where the devices themselves can actually run neural networks and do AI without having to send video off to a server. But this is one of the first ones where I've actually seen this implemented, and Simcam sent me a unit to take a look at, so I'm starting to look at some of these functions and see how they work. So I'm going to look at today object detection. And this is kind of a neat capability where you're able to use that on-device AI to monitor a specific object in the frame on your camera. So the use case for this is, say you have something valuable in your house and it's in the scene there, and you want to get an alert when that object moves. Maybe it's something you don't want to have stolen, or maybe you have this set up in the garage and you want to know when your car comes and goes and just get an alert when that specific object moves. Or maybe you're using this in a retail store, say you own a store and you have this set up and you tag your cash register. And then if someone were to walk off with that, you would get an alert and know that that had happened. So I've pulled up the feed. This is in the Simcam app, and I have my camera feed pulled up here. Now to do object detection, I'm going to press the little crosshairs around the cube there at the bottom. And it's going to say focus object monitoring. Highlight the object with red frame, notification will be sent, and video will be recorded when the object is moved or disappear, which should be disappears. So I'm going to say OK. And then I'm going to drag a frame around my very valuable soft soap bottle here. Don't want anyone walking off with that. And then when I'm done, I can say OK. Little checkbox. And you can hear the camera actually talks to me to say that that object is successfully being monitored. Now you can see if I move my hand into the frame here, sees that there's some movement and stuff like that. I can mess with these other objects, not a problem, but that one object is being monitored. So say I come in here and I just sort of walk off with that. Now I'm going to get a push notification on my phone, and I'm also going to get an alert in the Simcam app showing that that has happened. So let me go back in here. And this is going to be sideways with my video recording, but you can see just quickly if I go to alerts, it's going to give me an object monitoring alert here, and it's going to show that here, sure enough, my hand came in and took that very valuable soft soap out of the frame, and I can get the actual video of that horrifying incident happening. You can see my hand come in just a second, and the soft soap will disappear. So, obviously this is helpful for recording anything that might happen, again, in your home or in a store like that. It looks like it actually did not get the full clip, but I could go back into this and see that video, hopefully. I'm not sure why it didn't capture the actual moment that soft soap left, but I do have a picture of it there, I guess. And you can see up in the upper left that the Simcam app sent me a push notification to let me know that that happened. So let's go back into the camera. I'm going to pull this up again. So one thing I'm wondering is if I put this back into the frame, is it going to track it again? At the moment, it doesn't look like it is doing that. So I'm not sure if this would work. Let me take this out again. Not sure that this would work as well if I was tracking my car or another object, but I guess it works better if you want to just select an object and have one-time tracking. So going back to those use cases, better for something like a cash register or something that you want to track, and if it walks away, it's a problem, but then you'd have to, I guess, reselect it each time in order to have that tracking. So hopefully something they could implement going forward would be to continue to recognize the same object. So if the soft soap walks away and comes back, it would tell me an alert, but it wouldn't. I wouldn't have to reselect the object each time. And again, that could enable things like tracking a car, where it's designed to come and go, and you just want to know when that's happening. One thing I'm going to try out here is I've dragged that box around there. It's monitoring. Now I wonder what happens if I just obscure the object. So you can see I just got another alert showing that that was a problem with the object. So let me go back to the alerts. Let's see if I get that. Yeah, so again, I think this has a little ways to go in terms of actually, doing what it's exactly supposed to. Because you can see even if I just obscured the object, I'm still getting a notification saying that it was, it was removed or missing. So two things I would say here, really interesting and cool capability. I do hope that they continue to refine it, and probably what I would ask for is being able to detect when an object leaves the frame, and then when it comes back to see it again, so to have persistent monitoring of a specific object, even if it comes and goes, using that AI functionality. And also, it should be able to distinguish, I think, between when an object is just obscured and when an object is moved out of the frame. So if I, go in front of this, it shouldn't, mess with that device, with that object tracking. It should be able to stand in front of an object and should know when I've moved it or messed with it versus just when it's been obscured by something else in the frame. So cool capability. It seems like it's still something that needs some work, but again, excited to see this starting to be implemented on the device. If you have any questions or comments or anything, please feel free to comment below. If you found this useful in any way, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps.